Okay, so welcome to the averages and data revision session. So let's get straight in. First of all, I want to talk a bit about questionnaires. So let's look at this one first. Our first question, do you agree that football is the best sport? So what's wrong with this question? Well, first of all, we're sort of leading the person to an answer, aren't we? It's a very biased question. The person feels pressured to agree with us. Also, what's going on with this? Well, we've left a big answer space. Surely we just want a yes or no answer, so a tick box would be far better. For our second question, how many times do you do sports? Well, here we do have a tick box, but what would I tick if I did sport twice? Would it go in this box or this box? Well, we can't tell because the boxes overlap, don't they? Also, how many times do you do sport? Well, in what time period? Is that per week, per month, per year? So the question is being a bit too vague. Question 3. What is your bank account number? Well, I hope that none of you listening to this ever get asked that question in a survey, because this kind of question is far too personal, isn't it? This isn't the kind of information that you're going to ever give out, hopefully, to a person who asks you on the street. So there's 3 points really that we need to remember whenever we're doing or writing a questionnaire. We must not ask vague, biased or personal questions, and our answer options must not overlap. We also need to make sure that we cover all possibilities with our answers. So assuming we've made a successful questionnaire, the next thing we need to do is need to decide on the sampling, who we're going to ask. Now, in a random sample, each person has the same chance of being picked. So, for example, if I just pull names out of a hat. So here I've got a seating plan for a class of 30 students, and I want to pick 6 people for my sample. Now, if I was to pick it just names out of a hat, then I might get this person, this person, this person, this person, and this person, say. And this person. So there we are. In a random sample, I've got 6 people randomly by pulling names out of a hat. If instead I did a systematic sample, then I'd pick the first person at random, and then I'd pick, in this case, I'd pick every, say, 5th person after that. So let's say I pick the first person randomly, and after that I'm going to pick every 5th person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a much more logical way to do it, but the problem is that anything at all could be happening here with these people, and I would have no idea because I'm not picking any of them. I'm missing them out when I pick my sample. A better way of sampling then is what's called a stratified sample. Now, in a stratified sample, each group is represented in the same proportion as in the whole population. So, for example, a sports centre has 600 members. We want to work out the number from each group needed for a stratified sample of 90 members. So, the proportion of members being sampled. Well, the proportion of members being sampled, I'm picking 90 members out of 600. So the proportion, if I simplify that, is 3 out of 20. So, how many 5 to 15-year-old girls should I ask in my survey? Well, the proportion of members being sampled is 3 out of 20, and there is 140 girls aged between 5 and 15. So I want to find 3/20ths of 140. And if I work that out on a calculator, I will get 21 that I'm going to ask from that. Then, how many 16 to 18-year-old girls? Well, again, the proportion of members is 3/20, and this time there are 96 girls in that age range. Work that out on a calculator and I get 30.75, which for my survey I'm going to round to 31. So how many 5 to 15-year-old boys will I ask? Well, again, I've got the same proportion of members being sampled, 3/20, and I multiply that by the 205 boys that there are, and working that out I will get an answer of 14.4, or roughly 14. Finally then, how many 16 to 18-year-old boys will I ask in my survey? Well, again it's 3/20, because that's the proportion, multiplied by, in this case, 159, which gives me 23.85, which I will round to 24. So, I would then ask 21 5 to 15-year-old girls, 31 16 to 18-year-old girls, 14 5 to 15-year-old boys, and 24 16 to 18-year-old boys. And this should give me a good representative sample of the people at that gym. Right, onto something quite simple then. I want to find the mean, mode, median and range and quartiles of this data. So as you can probably see, the first thing that I've done, I've put the data in order from smallest to biggest. This will now make it much easier, and we should always do this as our very first step. So our mode, our most common, well, that's just 6. Our range is the biggest number, 10, take away the smallest 2, which is 8. The mean, I need to add all those up. If I do that, I should get 66, and there's 11 pieces of data, so my mean is 6. The median is the middle number, so in this case there's 11 pieces of data, add 1 and halve it, so I want the 6th piece of data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so the median is 6 as well. The lower quartile, 11 pieces of data, add 1 divided by 4, which is the 3rd piece of data, 1, 2, 3, so that's 5. The upper quartile, well, we can just count 3 back from the end, 1, 2, 3, which is 7. So we found all the bits of information from there. If you want to see a really cheesy video reminding us of mode, median and mean, then please check the details, the description underneath, which gives the link to that very cheesy math song video. Okay, sometimes we'll have a case like this where we have an even number of numbers and I want to find the median of it. Well, we know that the median is going to come in the middle here, but how do I find the median of those two numbers? Well, I can just add the two together and halve it, which is 7, and we can do the same thing for the quartiles. Okay, in this example we have 32 students, 12 boys and 20 girls who sat a test. The boys' mean score was 63%, the girls' was 78%. So what was the mean mark for the whole class? So in order to work this out, we first need to know the total number of marks for the boys. So to do that, we know that there were 12 boys and their mean was 63. 12 times 63 is 756. We know that there were 20 girls and they got an average of 78. So 20 times 78 is 1,560. So the total number of marks that the class got is 1,560 plus 756, which is 2,316. So to work out the class average, we want to divide 2,316, the total number of marks, by 32, the total number of students, and if we do that, we see that on average the class got 72.375, or roughly 72%. So we found the total number of marks for the whole class, which was this one, and we divided it by the total number of students in the class, this one.